In this video, I want to help you decide whether new construction or an older home is actually the better move for you here in Central Arkansas, because the right answer depends way more on your lifestyle than most people realize. This is something I walk families through all the time when they're relocating to Central Arkansas or moving up in their next home. And I've seen people be extremely happy with both options and also regret rushing into the wrong one. So we're going to break down what new construction really offers, what older neighborhoods do better, and how to choose based on how you actually live day to day, not just how the houses look on Zillow. So if you want to make a smart decision you won't second guess a year from now, this video is for you. All right, so before we even compare new homes versus older homes, we need to talk about what most buyers think they want versus what actually matters after you move in. Because a lot of people start this process saying, I want brand new, or I don't want anything old. But once life really kicks in, the priorities usually shift. And that's what we're going to get into first. So most buyers come into the search with a very clear picture in their head. If they're leaning towards new construction, they're thinking, I want something modern. I don't want to fix anything. I want energy efficiency, or I want that open floor plan. And that makes total sense. On the other side, buyers who prefer older homes usually say, I want more character, bigger lots, mature trees, and better locations closer to town. Also completely valid. So naturally, people start filtering online by year built, square footage, price, and they start falling in love with houses on a screen. But here's the problem. They're still choosing based on the house itself, not the lifestyle that comes with it. And that's where people get surprised later, because what actually affects your happiness isn't just how the new HVAC works. It's things like how long your commute is, how close you are to schools and activities, whether your neighborhood fits your vibe. And that's how much maintenance you realistically want to deal with. So before we even say which is better, we have to talk about what you're really trading off with each option. And that's where things get interesting. All right, so let's actually compare these two side by side, because this is where most buyers have their, oh wow, I didn't think about that moment. Neither option is better across the board. They're better for different types of people and lifestyles. So first, the obvious positives. With new construction, you usually get modern layouts, open kitchens and living spaces, energy efficient system, brand new roof, HVAC, plumbing, everything. So maintenance is lower at the beginning. And for a lot of buyers, that peace of mind is huge. Now in Central Arkansas, we're seeing a lot of this in areas like Bryant, Benton, Cabot, and Conway outskirts, and also growing pockets outside of Little Rock. So if you want something newer and more budget friendly per square foot, new construction can look very attractive. But here are the trade-offs people sometimes don't realize until after they move in. First, lot size and spacing. New neighborhoods often mean smaller yards, houses closer together, less privacy. Second, HOA rules and fees. A lot of new communities come with monthly or annual HOA dues, restrictions on parking, fencing, sheds, and even exterior colors. For some people, that's fine. For others, it feels restrictive. Third is location. New developments are usually built where land is available, which often means it's further from downtown. You have longer commutes, fewer nearby restaurants and shopping, at least at first. So the house might be perfect, but the drive becomes part of your daily stress. And finally, construction realities. Sometimes you deal with delays, punch list repairs, warranty work that takes time. Again, not deal breakers, but things buyers should go in knowing. Now, let's talk about older homes in established neighborhoods. One of the biggest advantages is location. Older neighborhoods tend to be closer to city centers, near established schools, closer to shopping, hospitals, and jobs. Now, in Central Arkansas, this is common in parts of Little Rock, North Little Rock, Conway, and some older pockets of Bryant and Benton. You also usually get larger lots, mature trees, more privacy, and more variety in home styles. For buyers who value character and convenience, this is a huge win. But older homes come with their own realities too. You might be dealing with older HVAC systems, older roofs, plumbing or electrical updates that are needed, and higher utility bills. So while the home may be cheaper up front, you need to budget for maintenance over time. Another thing is layout. Older homes often have smaller kitchens, more closed off rooms, less open concept living, and some people love that. Others feel cramped after coming from newer builds. So again, it's not good or bad, it's preference and priorities. So when buyers ask me, Nick, should I buy new or should I buy older? My answer is almost always, let's talk about your routine, not just your budget. Because the real trade-off usually comes down to, do you want newer finishes or better location? Do you want less maintenance now or more space and privacy? Or do you want community amenities or flexibility with your property? And that's where the right answer becomes very personal. Now, quick question for you watching. Would you personally rather have a brand new home in a newer neighborhood or an older home in a more established area? Drop new or old in the comments. I'm curious what most people prefer. All right, now let's talk about which option usually makes more sense depending on the type of buyer you are, because this is where the decision usually becomes a lot clearer. Let's talk about which option usually makes more sense depending on what stage of life you're in and what you actually care about day to day, because this is where the decision usually becomes very clear. If you've got young kids or you're planning to soon, your top priorities are usually schools, safety, parks and activities, space for kids to play. For a lot of families in Central Arkansas, that's why they end up choosing Bryant, Benton, Cabot, or newer areas outside of Conway. Newer subdivisions often come with playgrounds, sidewalks, community pools, and lots of other families in the same stage of life. So new construction can make a lot of sense here, but some families still choose older neighborhoods closer to town for shorter commutes, more established school programs, and being closer to activities. So again, it's lifestyle first, house second. Now, if you work in or near Little Rock and your priority is shorter drive times, being close to hospitals, downtown, or offices, and quick access to restaurants and gyms, older neighborhoods often win here. That's where areas of Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Inner Conway become really appealing. You may trade new finishes for less time in the car every week, and for a lot of people, that's 100% worth it. If you're in that move up phase, maybe growing a family, home office needs, or just ready for more room, you're often balancing budget, size, and location. This is where buyers start comparing. Do I want a newer, bigger home further out, or do I want a smaller home in a more central area? And this is where you really have to decide. Do I want square footage or do I want convenience? There's no wrong answer, just different priorities. Let's talk about resale, because this matters even if you think this is your forever home. Homes that tend to resell the easiest are usually in strong school zones, in areas with good commute access, in neighborhoods with stable demand. Both new and older homes can do well here, but not all locations perform the same. Sometimes a slightly older home in a great area can outperform a newer home in a less convenient location when it comes time to sell. So it's not just about age. It's about where that home sits in the market long term. So instead of asking, should I buy new or old? The better question is, what kind of daily life do I want to have in this house? Because that actually usually tells you which cities to focus on or which neighborhoods make sense, and whether new or older homes are the better fit for you. And once that's clear, the rest of the decision gets way easier. And if you're trying to figure this out for yourself, especially if you're relocating to Central Arkansas or moving up into your next home, and you want help comparing cities, neighborhoods, and price points based on your lifestyle, my contact info is in the description. I'll walk people through this exact decision all the time, and I'm always happy to help you think through your options, even if you're still early in the process. No pressure, just honest local guidance. So thanks for watching, and if you want more videos breaking down what it's really like to live in different parts of Central Arkansas, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.